So Dallas are a team that were not good last year. I don't know if they're going to be good this year. They're not going to be contenders. I don't know if they're pushing for the playoffs or they're going to try and give it one more shot in the draft and try to get that extra piece like the Fever did when they didn't go all in on Leah Boss and they were like, look, one more year. One more year we can get Caitlin. You know, I'm thinking one more year we can get Juju or Madison Booker or I think who else is in that draft class? Michaela Williams. There's players in that 2027 draft class. So Kurt Miller is currently on a tour of Europe. As you guys can see, like he's here. He's going to Spain even to check out Lou Lopez Seneschal. Lou has got 3 years left on a rookie deal. She's got 3 years left on a rookie deal. She is somebody that could absolutely be a really important piece for the Dallas Wings. You're getting a 27-year-old player coming into next season, 28 years old. You're getting her coming in, and she's going to be 28, has plenty of pro experience, and is essentially free because she's in a previous CBA. She's like a previous CBA rookie, which is perfect. He's gone, as you can see, he's gone to scout our fam. He's gone there to scout our fam. He's gone to check out a whack career. So we're looking at a front office that's at least making sure that they're not absolutely in the dark when it comes to players overseas. Because there are other players you can look at. Because if you are looking at a whack, you're there in Galatasaray. You're finding all the players in Galatasaray. If you're looking at for Awa, if you're going to see Awa, there's other players. It's like Awa's not the only player in Valencia. You can look at bigs and be like, okay, how's Kayla Alexander getting on? Whether or not she's someone to sign. Look, do I think Kayla Alexander, these are players to sign? Not really. But I'm like, you can look at Elena Buenavida, who's a super young player and super effective as a young player, for being honest. She's someone you could bring in on a rookie deal and kind of help bring your young core through. And Buenavida is born in 04. Like she'd be ineligible to be or she'd be in the 2026 draft class as well. She'd be a first rounder. So you're scouting these players. You're able to scout basically anyone. And that's the big thing when it comes to Kurt Miller is he's over there in Europe. And like, if you guys think that it's not going to make any difference, that's fine. But at least he's there. At least he's there. Like they're not one of those organizations that is solely scouting based on word of mouth. They're not one of these organizations that actually don't scout. There are plenty of organizations, and it's not just the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever were just dumb enough to admit they basically choose their players based on word of mouth. It's like, oh yeah, we sign players. Why? They have a relationship with this coach. Oh, this coach has a relationship with this player, so we're going to sign this player. And I've always just been like, that's the dumbest thing you can do. Because that's how you miss on our fam. That's how you miss on players. That's how you miss on when you should have brought in a Cat Westbeld. That's how teams for 9 years didn't get Cat Westbeld. Because everything is just, is now just, it's about who you know. It's about your relationships with other players, with other teams. And I'm just there like, why is this happening? Why can it not be a case where all the teams are smart about this? Obviously, they've gone and signed a coach who was there at USF. They signed a good coach, but like we're looking at a guy being active about it, and it's one thing. I do think there are teams that are scouting at these games. I absolutely do. But like, I'm not joking when I say this. Maybe somebody was scouting, but I took a look around when I went to see Awafam versus Fenner in a game that mattered. by the way. Like, Kurt Miller has gone to scout our fam against Olympiacos in a game that no one gives a damn about. Like, no one gives a damn about that game. And I was there at the Fener game, and I was expecting to see, like, I sat courtside. I was expecting to see, like, I was looking through a lot of the rows. Look, I couldn't see in the bleachers. I couldn't see far back, but, like, it was like 50 quid to get tickets. Like, 3 rows off courtside. Anything within my eye length, I did not see one person taking down notes. I did not see one person with an iPad. And maybe people are just watching the games and they'll scout later. But, like, it did not look like there was a single person scouting in what was the most, like, obvious time to scout, which was the biggest game in Spain, where it's easier to get to Spain from America than get to Turkey. You add an extra 2 hours onto that flight. It was just a weird one, and it's just this weird thing with the WNBA, and I want to shout out Kurt Miller for doing it. It was like, oh yeah, Kurt Miller, look what he did last offseason. I'm like, man, he didn't have a lot to work with. He had a lot of cap space and no one wanted to play in Dallas. He didn't have a lot to work with, I'm going to be completely honest. But at the end of the day, we're now at a situation where you can't doubt that Kurt Miller's trying. It's really, really difficult to doubt that he's trying, that he's not trying to scout overseas. He's trying to scout overseas. He's trying to see players. And again, he's getting himself into practices to see how these players are practicing, to see all of these things. And man, I just wish, I'm going to talk about this even more in tomorrow's video. I'm going to explain all of this. But like, I wish more teams should be doing this. As far as I'm aware, like, Cheryl Reeve does her own thing. But as far as I'm aware, it's like the Liberty, I think, have a proper scouting network. I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. And now at least you're seeing Kurt Miller, whereas the Wings don't have their scouting network. You're seeing Kurt Miller doing what Amber Cox and Kelly Krause should be doing. And instead of just sitting there, going and touring everything. Going and touring Europe. Because if you're going to be scouting in college, if you're going to be scouting at Unrivaled, and people are showing up to watch 3v3 games and scout rather than, watch real basketball that's going on in their scouts. And Kurt Miller is at least there. He's at least there. So it'd be interesting to see. It's like, I still think it's a no-brainer to take Awafam, for being honest. I still think that's an absolute no-brainer. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.